Good afternoon, I'm Belinda De Lasheras with 2NURFM Hunter News. A man has been arrested following an armed robbery at a Mayfield service station earlier this morning. Around 6 a.m, a male entered the 7-Eleven store on Maitland Road, trawling through a number of items before allegedly approaching the counter with a knife and threatening an employee demanding cash. It's claimed the suspect fled a short time later on a bicycle with the sum of the proceeds. Detectives later picked up a 21-year-old man in Hanbury Street. He's continuing to assist them with their inquiries. Authorities have begun investigating an area at Keenbar near Cessnock as the potential site of a supposed greyhound mass grave. Greyhound Racing New South Wales has stepped in and is urging anyone with information to contact the Welfare and Integrity Hotline on 1800 680 174. Local greyhound trainer Bob Whitelaw says more investigations are needed to fully resolve problems in the industry.
It's up to us to rebuild our image, the greyhound industry, and it's certainly with time rolling on, and the former Deputy Commissioner should say it's conducting the task force investigation. I think you'll find that a lot more will come out along the corruption side and also along the integrity side of it, which is going to be totally embarrassing for greyhound racing New South Wales.
Meanwhile, Greens MP John Kay is warning Hunter residents to prepare for the discovery of even more burials.
We are fairly convinced that there is a mass greyhound grave there. We also know that there are a number of allegations about mass greyhound graves across New South Wales. These need to be investigated, and it is a matter of priority that we find out who was responsible for these atrocities.
There are fears missing Port Stephens man Christopher Fotis may have fled Australia after failing to give evidence at a royal commission. The former Knox grammar teacher faces allegations of child sexual abuse and disappeared from his Corlett home back in February. Police have issued a warrant for his arrest as the search continues. State planning officials have brushed off concerns about toxic emissions from the major expansion of a Newcastle fuel terminal, recommending the project receive the green light. It comes after storage giant Stolthaven was granted approval to increase its fuel imports at Mayfield's former BHP site from 300 million to more than 1 billion litres a year. John Hayes from the Mayfield Correct Planning and Consultation Group says the company needs to come clean on how it plans to mitigate the risks of potentially cancer-causing chemicals.
Additional odours from the sites may have the capacity of being carcinogenic. We've got residential houses, a primary school, that's going to generate a hell of a lot more trucks in and out of one intersection on Industrial Drive, and it could lead to gridlock because it's an enormous increase.
The state's Environment Protection Authority has fined mining giant Darracon for breaching the conditions of its Environment Protection licence at the company's Martins Creek quarry. Inspections carried out last year uncovered a range of erosion and sediment control issues, including holes in fences designed to stop the flowback. The EPA's acting Hunter Regional Manager Mitchell Bennett says poor sediment control can pose severe dangers.
The EPA takes erosion and sediment control very seriously because stopping erosion and sediment from washing into our waterways is very important for protecting water quality and the health of our rivers and creeks.
Now with sport, Jacinta Lee.
Newcastle Jets owner Nathan Tinkler is standing firm on his support for coach Phil Stubbins, despite heated calls for his axing on the back of Monday's 2-0 loss to Perth. It follows a bitter campaign to oust him from the top job, the side currently sitting at the bottom of the A-League ladder with just 2 wins from 24 matches. Supporters have vented their anger with a giant banner demanding action from the club, but Tinkler insists there'll be no change at the helm, instead giving Stubbins a chance to make things right next season. The Knights have confirmed several changes to their lineup ahead of Friday night's clash with Cronulla. Chris Houston moves to second row for the injured Beau Scott, while Corbin Sims is set to mark a milestone, playing alongside brother Tarek for the first time in red and blue after returning from suspension. And the Maitland Pickers are celebrating after welcoming former coach Noel Dent back into their ranks for this year's Newcastle Rugby League campaign. That's sport. I'm Jacinta Lee.
2NURFM News Time is 12:10.